This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
The footy season's yet to start for our WA teams. They're in action this weekend, but we're already looking forward to Gather Round. That's what we're doing. Start of April, in fact, and you can watch all the action on Channel 9. And Eddie McGuire's taking the team over there for Channel 9. They are going to be covering every single bit of action that's happening in Adelaide over that weekend, and no doubt claiming everything against tax. G'day, Eddie. How are you?
That's the way.
Yes,
hard,
Eddie.
same often.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, Eddie, being, one of the, one of the pillars of Channel 9, wondering, are you really into Married at First Sight or what? Do you ever watch it?
Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
I must admit, that's one that's gone past me. I'll be honest about it.
That seems right, Eddie, to be honest.
I'm confused. I thought you'd really connect with these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm a man of the Married at First Sight people, their audience, I'm their demographics. I'm all for that sort of thing. It's as if I haven't got enough idiots in my life every other part of the day.
100%. Hey, Eddie.
Look, it's a great. I love it. It's a great show.
No, you don't.
You're just backpedaling now,
Come on,
Eddie.
Eddie.
You've never watched an
For other
episode.
people. For other people.
I love it for other people.
I'm not watching it. I wouldn't watch it. It would be my
love
idea. Circuitry. As Sam Newman said, I'd rather go to the all-night dentist. But, so instead, on the April the 2nd, the Tuesday, the day after Easter, we will be going to Adelaide for the spectacular at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. So why am I talking to you in Perth about that? Because all the people going to Perth, here's my tip, okay? Go a couple of days early rather than getting gouged by the airline.
Yes.
The money you save on the airline by going a bit early, you get over there, go to the Barossa Valley, do some wine tasting, go to the beaches. It is actually sensational. I was over last year. It's a fantastic week. Enjoy Adelaide. Come with us, $35 a ticket, $120 for a family. Delta Goodrum is going to be performing live in person and on stage and everything else. All the fun of football, and I say that with a triple underline under the word fun, of the night is going to be there. So come and have a good old-fashioned, footy show.
Extravaganza of sorts?
No, it is. It's the big. We're winding back the clock to the days when we used to come to the Perth Entertainment Centre and have a whole lot of fun. So come along. And you'll have a great time.
You know what? We didn't realise until, because we used to bag Adelaide, because that's what Perth does, and Adelaide does the same back to us, until we went there and went, oh, God, I think this might be better. Because we love Optus Stadium here. We're so proud of our stadium. But the one thing we loved is how integrated Adelaide is, how close it is to get into Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
It's just a really great vibe. Everyone's out there. You've got your small bars and stuff. So you're right, Eddie. It'd be really great to get there for a couple of days earlier and just soak in what Adelaide has to offer. Go to Schnitt House, Shaun.
Yeah, absolutely. Great schnitzels.
There's some really good restaurants there as well.
Thanks.
And that's what we need to do, though. Footy tourism is a huge part of what we need to do. And I was going to come over and promote footy tourism in the COVID days until you banned me from coming.
Yeah. Well, we heard you were friends with Clive, so we're like, nah.
So anyway... No, I was got the opposite. But seriously, that was the whole idea. The Premier's Department had approached me to come and do all that sort of stuff, and then suddenly I got the result. But that's what we need to promote. I mean, people in the East, I'm lucky, I've travelled extensively. Perth and Margaret River and all these wonderful places, and they're just sensational. And what you've got to do is instead of going like we normally do, is the footy's on, get over, get out, get home as quickly as possible, because the atmosphere can be a bit intimidating for some people, and you go, well, why do I need to go over there and get driven mad? Go to the footy, enjoy it, but go and do the other things around it, and suddenly it makes perfect sense. And I mean, Perth is just a spectacular place to come to, and I hope we're able to do some things. Perth has missed out on Gather Round so far, but there's ways of doing it, and I think we saw with opening round, you can do it. I would have thought, something we should look at doing is pick the right weekend or over 2 weekends where you bring a couple of the big teams. So let's say, for example, Collingwood and Carlton, and you play, Collingwood, Fremantle one week on one night, and you play Carlton and West Coast the other, and then you flip them the next week, and both teams and both supporter bases are in town, so that we can fill the hotels, fill the restaurants, build it up into something great and do something like that. So there's lots of ways.
Collingwood doesn't leave the MCG. What are you talking
No,
about?
yeah, I know. 17 games at home.
But
Eddie.
what Shaun tells me, what Shaun tells me is they're not that
We don't-
smart. So can't we just put an MCG sign up on the on the stadium? They wouldn't know.
Sorry, guys, but it's easy. If you want to come to the MCG, give up one of your games. We don't need to. We play 11 games. We play 2 down at Marvel. I don't know what the hell.
What do you mean? You play 11 games at the MCG, that's all, this season?
We play 9 home games.
Yes.
2 at Marvel, right? So you guys play...
No, but what about the supposed away games that are still at home?
Yeah.
Well, where are we going to play Richmond? In where? Arnhem Land?
Oh, down at Ballarat.
Yeah.
You know, what's that stadium called there? It's not bad.
What are you talking about?
You saw last weekend. What do you reckon pays for everything? Is the big side playing the big guys? You get 13. You get 11 home or 12. You get 11 home, and you get the away against Fremantle. Okay, now. Here's what you should be doing. You should be buying games from the smaller clubs.
Oh, I agree.
North Melbourne. Get them over there. Mate, there's solutions to all these things. What we can't be in Australia, having just sat through a day where we cancelled the Moomba Parade when it was 27 degrees, is stop whinging and complaining.
Is that true? Is that actually
What,
what
27, Eddie? Are you joking?
And
Really?
come up with some ideas to make things happen. Do you reckon that we had that deal at the MCG before I came up with it and did it? No. Read the play, get involved. Don't be standing there squawking and complaining. And I tell you what, the advantage in Perth is significant, and so it should be. It's home ground. And it should be like that.
We had Dreamtime at the G that year for COVID, and it was a massive hit. But you're right. Why not get those clubs over there? I mean, we can have a mini version of Gather Round.
Well, we need like a worldwide emergency for that to happen.
We can throw in some WWE at half time. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, why not? But think outside the square. I like it, Eddie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And 27 degrees. Moomba's been a big festival for a million years, and they just said, nah, it's too dangerous.
Well, I'm not a climate change denier, quite the opposite, and I'm into the greening and renewable energy and all that sort of stuff. But it seems to me that there's this growing push to just sensationalise anything to do with the weather. I mean, if you watch the news of a night time now, the weather used to have somebody with a nice smile telling you what the weather was going to be. Yeah. Now you're at panic stations. I mean, you don't have a severe weather warning, to be careful of bushfires. You have a catastrophic weather event.
That's true.
What? They really should just have someone dressed as the Grim Reaper coming out and just pointing at us.
What? I mean, seriously, they had yesterday. We've got 2 heat officials at the Melbourne City Council.
Heat officials?
Heat officials.
Yeah.
That's their title.
You know what? They won't come over here because it's too bloody hot.
Yeah, exactly.
When we hear you guys whinge about the heat, we're over here in 45 degrees dying. And we're going, and yet your heat makes national news. You don't even talk about ours.
My point exactly, and that is we haven't had a day over 40 this year, so they must be doing a good job.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we need more heat officials. Amazing.
Their official title is Co-Directors Change and City Resilience. So the resilience we showed yesterday, as I was quoted in the papers here, was reminiscent of a limp lettuce leaf. And instead of teaching people, here's what you do if it's 27 degrees and 10 for the one day of the year that it is. Maybe wear loose-fitting clothes.
Light linens.
Light linens.
Yeah, linens.
Eddie.
Maybe stand in the shade.
That's crazy. That's crazy enough to work.
What? Hey, you don't come on here and spread that witchcraft.
I mean, it is just getting out of control. We are letting people who are running agendas and who are justifying their existence now stop the Moomba Parade at 10:45 on a Monday morning in Melbourne in March. Granted, it was a hot 3 days, but that used to be called the weekend once upon a time.
Oh, good on you, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie. We love your work. Go and see the Gather Round Spectacular, everybody. If you are in town for Gather Round, it is on Tuesday, the April 2nd, just after Easter. At the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Going to be
huge.
Well, it's going to be a spectacular. Thanks, Ed.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Well, the Wildcats went to Tassie yesterday. They looked like they were going to wrap up the semi-final series against the Jack Jumpers. They got off to a really great start, Nate. They defended particularly well, made a few shots. It was all looking pretty rosy. And then the second half in particular, Jack Jumpers got the better of the Wildcats through shooting. This is John Really, coach of the Wildcats, summing up the match.
The other night we made the plays. Tonight they made the plays. Like I got to watch the game. A little emotional about it right now, but like I do think we got some good looks and so forth. We didn't capitalize in those times that they did, and we did the opposite in game one.
So, to be clear, that's him a little bit emotional about something.
Very emotional. Very robotic.
What's his accent?
It's the Australian-American one.
Yeah. It's an unusual one, isn't it? Where that middle ground, it's sometimes it's uncomfortable to hear.
Yeah. It's annoying.
Because it's like, pick a side.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. The Wildcats hit 5 3-pointers from 25 attempts.
Yeah, it's not great.
25. So they missed the opportunity to score. The game tomorrow night is the decider if they get in the grand final. In my opinion, they should be there. They need to be more aggressive. But here's the thing I didn't like about the whole game last night, and particularly the third quarter. The umpiring was as poor as I've ever seen in a professional sporting event.
So what's that about?
It was so poor.
They're all like accredited, well-known refs,
but they were just blowing the whistle, and you don't like to see any event where the referees are having such an impact. Where there was a period in the third quarter where a guy from Tasmania, anytime they got the ball and just started charging towards the hoop, the Wildcats guys would get out the way and almost let them score because they couldn't afford to get anywhere near him because the guy would just blow the whistle and call a foul.
Well, there was a foul called on Jordan Usher that they did actually, that John Willie challenged. He didn't go anywhere near him. Yeah. The guy, he basically ran past him.
They got whistle.
Maybe
extraordinary.
Maybe they've been told to be aggressive. Be aggressive. So, you know.
They need to lift their socks because if you want two teams battling it out in a proper competition,
it has to be well reffed.
And you're playing for a shot in the grand final.
Yeah. So game 3 tomorrow night.
Yeah, get behind the red arm, everyone.
Yeah. Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.